The conversation is beyond the code, building a fintech brand that wins trust and attention. I'm going to assume two things. You are either someone who chose this because you are building a fintech brand, or it was the, should I say, less boring of the options that were available. Whatever it is, you're here with me. So we will make this as fun as we can. Just by a show of hands, who here is directly in charge of marketing any fintech brand? CEO, CMO, anybody? Don't be shy, I promise. I won't ask you any questions. I'm just trying to understand my audience so that I know where to go. All right, so the good thing is, every one of you, even if you are not actually marketing a brand, you are being influenced by one of those brands in one way or the other, because we all move money in one way or the other using fintech products. So you are all part of the target audience. I did mention my name, but the reason why you should listen to me is because over the last 10 years or so, I have helped to build multiple brands. I've never built a fintech brand, even though I have worked in financial services. I worked in insurance, but the principles are the same. And so today the conversation is just about how we can use the things that apply to all those things in building trust in the fintech world. So let's get into it. I do need you to answer this question. So I'm looking for at least 3 volunteers. What fintech product do you trust the most and why? It can be any of them. It can be for the unbanked. It can be what you use to move money from your bank to another. It can be a payment platform, anything. Any takers? We have a beautiful lady in front. I won't ask you to mention your name, but I'd love to hear which country you're from. So if you can add that. If you want to add your name, that's also allowed.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Esther Chinda, and I'm from Nigeria. So I'm actually mentioning that I'm from Nigeria because also the one I trust the most is OPay. So I don't know if it's popular in Ghana, but it's something that we use a lot in Nigeria, especially like Port Harcourt where I stay. So the reason I like OPay is because their transactions are like very fast, like in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it has gone. And also if it fails or if the network is bad, they let you know that network is bad. If it fails, it will be refunded or it will eventually get to that person. But like they're just very, very reliable.
I was going to say reliable, so I love that you ended on that note. Thank you so much for sharing, and welcome to Ghana. I hope you're enjoying it so far. So she says she likes OPay because it's reliable. When it's, you can count on them to send you the money when you send the money. You can count on them to communicate when there's a challenge. Is there anyone else who wants to share? All right, we have a lady. Sure. Your name is? Pelin. Wow, amazing. So what bank is that, if you don't mind sharing? Stanbic, right? It's also my bank. I agree with you. So you like them because you know where you can go to and hold somebody's neck and say, where's my money? Fantastic. So the fact that there is a tangible face that you can put to the brand makes you feel like you can trust them. Do we have anyone else? One more taker and then we move. All right. I love how the ladies are speaking. Oh, okay. I'll take it, the gentleman and the lady, and then we can move on. Hi, Frederick from Nigeria.
All right, so one of the fintech app I love most is MoneyPoint.
It's what?
MoneyPoint.
MoneyPoint, okay.
So one of the core features I love about the app is they accept and decline transactions. You know, there are some apps that they have already deducted the sender, and the recipient hasn't received it. So that's the most. And talking about building a fintech product using a payment gateway, I think I love Flutterwave.
You like Flutterwave?
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
But why do you like Flutterwave?
All right, so it's robust. You can make transaction. You can actually integrate using USD or Nigeria NG.
Okay. So you like it because the features are reliable. Okay. One last person.
Okay, hi. Good afternoon. My name is Ogoma from Nigeria.
Ogoma.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm going to give two options because those are the two that I use mostly. First is Pocket App. It's a fintech similar to OPay, but I like it so much because it seamlessly integrates to a lot of other fintechs that I use. So like it integrates seamlessly to Piggyvest that I used to save, integrates seamlessly to my second option being Quidax that I can use to withdraw digital currency. So like think your stable currency. Quidax helps you seamlessly withdraw like your cryptocurrency into Naira. So those are my two options.
So you trust it to deliver your money and you trust it to...
Yes, and the customer service too is also very seamless with both platforms.
Fantastic. So you've all been very helpful. For those of you who had answers in your heads and you didn't raise your hand, there's still another opportunity at the end of the event to answer a question. But thank you for sharing. So today, I think we can all agree that we have a lot of products. When I was doing my research for this session, I discovered that there are so many categories of fintech products. It was crazy. I was like, I didn't even know that some of these existed. But it shows that it's not a problem of access to products. What I would like to say is everybody promises speed, security, convenience. But the person who will win is the person who connects to their people emotionally, communicates clearly, and earns trust. So if you remember, our lady from Nigeria mentioned that when there's an issue, they will communicate. So she understands that that predictability makes her feel like, I can trust this brand, right? So if you think about it, a lot of the brands that you prefer, usually they may not be like 100% excelling in these areas, but they are definitely touching on these points at a certain point. So they are either connecting to you emotionally, or they are communicating clearly, or they are doing things to earn trust. That, in my opinion, is a way to build a fintech brand that succeeds beyond the I've published, we've gone live, people have downloaded the app. Because we've all downloaded apps, used it twice, and never touched it again, right? Oh, people, right? Right. So it's not a matter of downloads. You can say, oh my goodness, on the day we released it, we were #1 on the Apple Store, blah, blah, blah. If people don't use it, that statistic just ends there. So you need to ask yourself, if you are building a fintech brand, what the difference is with you. Because everybody has the features. I'm happy you spoke about features, but you also connected those features to the fact that you can trust them to deliver on those features. So today, my conversation is that there is a trust gap when it comes to the fintech industry. And most of the time, regardless of which sector you are in, your stakeholders are asking, can I trust you? So whether it's users who are saying, can I trust them with my money? Can I trust that if I click send, the money goes to them, to the person it's supposed to go to? Can I trust that no one is going to steal my money? Can I trust that I'm not going to get a prompt that steals all the money before I can even say Jack? Regulators are saying, can I trust this person to be accountable? Investors are saying, can I trust that this is a sustainable business? Because let's be fair, everyone can look very nice, like I'm doing today, and stand in front of a presentation and sell you the features of their product. But if I'm going to give you money to expand your business, I'm asking myself, can I trust this person? I hope you guys are trusting me at this point, because... But yes, can I trust this person? Your partners are wondering, will they protect our brand? Will they protect our customers? The media and the public are wondering, can we believe their story? So everyone is wondering, can I trust you? Can I trust you? In one variation or another. So I think I said at the beginning that it's not easy to it's easy to ship out products, but what you want to do is to build perception, credibility, and connection. And we'll break this down as practically as possible so that even if you leave this session, you have something to think on or something to work on from today. There are 3 pillars of a trustworthy brand. I'm not saying that these are the only pillars in the world, but I'm saying that these are starting pillars that you can use to build your brand. 1, it must be clear. People must know what you stand for. 2, it must be credible. I must believe that you can deliver. So if I tell you today, I can give you a purple unicorn, I don't know if I've done anything to make you believe that I am capable of delivering a purple unicorn to you. But if you came up here and I pulled up a zebra, 5 seconds later there was a lion, and I say I can give you a unicorn, it's closer, it's more tangible, it's easy to believe. Then they should feel connected. I must feel like you care about me. She likes Stanbic because she goes there and she can complain to a customer service person who will say, you know what, I'll solve your problem. I'll call you right back. Or this is the person who can assist. We're working on it. We'll give you an update. Expect a text message. They care. It's not just, I've taken your money and go and sit down and figure out your life. So based on these pillars, we'll just break those down quite a bit. When it comes to clarity, for me, if your message is consistent and it's clear what your purpose is and it's simple enough for me to assimilate, I think you are clear. I think you've solved that. So I put a few questions there because, I can say this, but just to break it down practically. What problem do we actually solve? Which is why I asked in the beginning if anyone had a fintech brand, so that you can tell us what problem you solve. Because you can say, we are the gateway to payments between this and... What does that mean? For the regular person, does your grandma understand what the product does? So here in Ghana, one of the very popular fintech products is Momo. Every Ghanaian mother understands what Momo does. She may not understand how a laptop works. She may not understand how an air fryer works. But she knows that if she enters a certain code and adds a hashtag, she's able to access her money. She knows that if she puts in this PIN, she gets it. She knows that if she gets a text message, she knows how much money she has. She knows who sent her the money. That clarity is, I believe, one of the reasons why Momo has penetrated Ghana the way it has. Because they are not the only ones who are doing that. And some might even argue that they may not be the most secure platform, but they are clear. You understand what they do. You understand, it's so clear. Is that message consistent across your app? So you can say one thing on your shirt, another thing on your social media, another thing when I go into your office. It's not clear. The Gen Zs will say it's giving confused. Like, it's not giving consistency. You have to find a way to make sure that that message is consistent across all platforms. So if your socials are fantastic, that's great. But if I walk into your office and I don't get the sense that your customer service person understands how to deliver value to me, the way you say on your social media, chances are maybe the next time you open another app. Am I lying? Oh, guys, I'm lying. Oh, right. I was just checking. So one of the brands that I think has done this well is Paystack. They've made a very clear promise. Modern payments for Africa. I use Paystack for some of the digital products I run, and it's very simple. Wherever you are, you can pay. And it's clear enough for me to feel like I trust them to collect my money on my behalf. Yeah, they'll take a little money off it, but that's the convenience makes up for it. So the second pillar for me is credibility, and this is where people may struggle a little bit. It's easy to say, I can do this, but you have to prove that you're actually credible. You have to prove it in the day-to-day, and this is a marathon, I will admit. It's not something that you can achieve in one day, but you must build it day by day. What I'm doing here today is building the blocks of my speaker career. I'm building it day by day. It didn't start today, but this is another block. So think of it that way when you think about your fintech brand. What you do on the day-to-day is what gives people the feeling that these people are credible. I trust them. They will go to the ends of the earth for me because they've done it before, or they've done it for someone I know, someone tangible. Because you see, it's one thing for, let's say, Cousins. Everyone knows what Cousins is. So Cousins does powder, soap, and things like that. Yes. It's one thing for Cousins to say, this is the most fantastic baby powder in the world. And it's another thing for a mother to pick up that same powder and say, this is the best powder. Ever since I started using it for my child, he doesn't have any problems. You will believe the mother, won't you? So that tells you how important it is for your users to be able to trust you and be your ambassadors. But if it's given inconsistency, I will not be able to vouch for you and say, this brand can do this for me. So at a certain point, you need to ask yourself, when there's a crisis, am I transparent? How do I follow through with my partnerships? Are there any taxes I'm supposed to be paying? Have I paid those? Am I supposed to do a certain payout by a certain time? Have I done it? Is there an issue? Have I communicated? Let people feel like they can rely on you, and that will be a good pillar for building a brand. Because one, the person says it, but if a user says it, then it feels more credible. Then even if there's a crisis, people are more likely to vouch for you a certain way. Oh, they usually try. I'm sure there's a hitch. Oh, maybe they sent a text message and I didn't get it. We all make excuses for people who come through for us, don't we? So that's what you want to do. You want to be so consistent that you get to a point where people can make excuses for you, defend you in situations. I don't know about the other African countries, but a lot of conversations happen in churches or in marketplaces. And so you're in a certain space and someone says, these days, MTN is not safe. The Momo is not safe. And someone will say, oh, they are working on it. Oh, the last time crowd did this. Someone who has nothing to do with the MTN Momo brand, who is not a member of their customer service team or their marketing and comms team, but because of a certain touch point, feels like they can speak to that brand. And they will speak so passionately. That's what you want. You want to get to a point where people can trust your brand and people can vouch for you. One last part of this is visible, responsible leadership. I must be able to see the people that are running this thing. I must be able to see it. She said when she's in a crisis, she knows that there's a physical bank she can go to. If the personal banker is frustrating her, she can go to the customer service person. If that person is frustrating her, she can go to the branch manager. If that person is frustrating her, in Stanbic, they usually have this thing where it has all the numbers you can call if there's an issue. There are multiple layers for you to find the people you want to say, where is my money? Who is holding the money? That makes you feel like, I can leave my $1 million with these people. Even though their online payments app is down, I trust that it's still there, right? Because I don't know if you would just leave your 1 million Ghana cedis lying here. You won't. Because there's no one is accountable for it. I would say I was busy teaching, so I didn't see it. Someone would say I was looking at the slides, so I didn't see it. No one is accountable for it, but there's somebody whose job it is to make sure that your money is safe. So if you are that person in that fintech brand, we need to know you. People need to know you. And if we don't know you, then we'll start thinking, I know that people think, oh, there's no reason to show my face. Just build a good product, people will buy it. To a certain extent, that is true. But beyond a certain point, we need to see your face. We need to know who you are so that we can say, I want to work with this person. Sometimes it's even your personality that will make the person say, I want to vouch for this person. She can do it. Oh, she won't run away with it. She posts Christian, Hallelujah challenge on her status. So she's not running away with the money. Another thing is connection. We all like a good connection. Some of the best commercials that you have seen online is most probably because the story that they are telling makes you feel connected to that person. Makes you feel like, oh, this is nice. Oh, I used to do this when I was a kid. Or this is something I would like to do. Connection is key. How do you do this? Someone does something and it goes well. and shares it organically online, jump on that. We are so happy to provide that service for you. There's an app that I use here in Ghana. I'm trying to remember the name. Achieve app. So they are a platform for saving, investing. And one thing they do really well is they jump onto conversations on Twitter every now and then. And I find that they do it in such a seamless way that it feels like they are one of us. You know when you have people you follow on Twitter and you feel like we are all in one happy virtual family. It feels like they are one of us. Because when something is trending, they will jump in and talk about it. They will laugh with you. Sometimes they'll even come back and joke. It feels almost like a person. And so that's a touch point that makes me feel like this person connects with me. There are cultural moments that you can celebrate authentically. What's happening? Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you are a brand that has majority of your clients as women, you have no excuse to not do something meaningful for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That makes them feel like, oh my God, you care about me. It's not just my money. Do you understand? So that connection is key. It always makes them feel like, oh, we are like a family. We're not. But that feeling makes them feel more likely to trust you with their money. And if you hack into that, you do have a way of earning trust and authority in the long term. So, I have 2 more slides to talk about in terms of what we can do for building. I spoke earlier about how it's important for us to see you if you are the person who's leading the brand. And that's what I want to touch on here. Visibility as a trust driver. So I know, honestly, that we all roll our eyes when we scroll through LinkedIn and people feel very performative. And sometimes we look at some posts on Instagram and go like, Massa, please. I know that. But if you are visible and the connection is authentic, I can tell you it does wonders for you, for your brand as an individual and for your brand as a company. So how can you do this? Thought leadership. If you are the founder, let's see you. Let's hear you. What's your vision? What's your value? What made you decide that, no, I want to build an app that the woman that sells fish in my village can use and understand? There's a story there. Tell us that story. Then it doesn't make it feel like you're just some guy who's trying to hack into the fintech world and cash a check and go home, and once you get our money, you vanish. Let us feel the person you are. Let's understand the way you think. What makes you different from every other fintech brand, every other founder, every other person who has developed that kind of brand? Show us you. Because there's only one you. There may be 10,000 Flutter waves, but there may be only one you. So show us that you. Another thing is earned media. That's easy. You know, third parties say, oh, they did this, it was great. If you do a good job, they will do it easily. Usually people struggle with the thought leadership part. I've also spoken about the community engagement. Online is great because you can get people to manage it, you can get AI to respond, you have a bot. But if I get into your office and the vibe is very different from what is online and doesn't translate to what you promise, I'm not trusting you. Something is off there. So that consistency across always makes me feel that family feeling. We are all one community. We all get it. We all grow together. Then, do your regulators know you? Do you talk to them? Are you accountable? Can they trust that you've paid your taxes? Can they trust that the new law that you're supposed to enforce, you're enforcing? You're supposed to cross-check the ID in the system before you authorize the payment. Do you do that? Do you follow the steps that are laid out in whatever law has been set up? Because nobody's checking. Let's be honest. In Africa, nobody's really checking unless there's a problem. So you feel like, why not? But that is a problem if your regulator can't trust you. If the regulator can't trust you, what do you think they would say to your clients when they come to them to complain? So by all means, try as much as possible to be visible. Be visible in the conversations that have to do with your regulator, in that community, in that industry. People must know you. They must hear you. That's how you remain top of mind. When it comes to thought leadership, I'm quite passionate about that. So I will break that down in one last slide, and then we can move on to a few other things. Thought leadership for me is trust at scale. It's one thing for us to trust your brand, but if you as a founder is a visible person and you are building yourself as a thought leader in that industry, the kind of trust that you translate across your industry is, I think, it's even more than what you would subscribe to your marketing budget. You know, we all have a marketing budget. We print shirts, and we sponsor posts, we boost this here and there, we sponsor an event, our pull-up banner is there. That's all good. But if you are visible and you're talking and you're engaging in certain conversations, and people are interacting with that personality, it gives us a certain touch point that the pull-up banner and the nice paraphernalia will not give us. If you are thinking of starting a business, get comfortable with being visible. Get comfortable with showing who you are and what you stand for. And if you're an introvert, there are ways to do it. You don't necessarily have to be like me and every day take up your camera and say, "Hi guys, so today I want to take you to the background." It doesn't have to be like that. But there are ways in which you can show the way you think, show your values, show the things that make your brand that different. There are subtle ways you can contribute to conversations. Maybe yours would be an article rather than a fireside chat. There are ways to show that. It can even be a LinkedIn comment, because these days LinkedIn does something where you get, they tell you the impressions on your comments. So that you get a notification saying, your last comment saying, "Happy to hear that you have moved to a new role, received 116 impressions." That's 116 eyeballs. So even comments can be intentional in showing who you are if you are an introvert. But by all means, show yourself, show who you are, show that value that you bring to the table. Create content. Show up where your audience listens. Are they on LinkedIn? Then be there, regardless of how you feel about LinkedIn. Are they at Africa Fintech Summit? Then be there. Come in your shirts or strike conversations in between breaks and have those conversations that show people who you are. Those touch points, they matter. There was, I used this gentleman from Money Points, like you mentioned, because I've noticed him on LinkedIn. Every time he posts, there's a certain theme. I don't know whether it's intentional, but that theme definitely runs through. He's always, I think he recently turned 40. That's how invested I am in his updates. Yes, he posted to say he had turned 40 and how he was happy about the journey he's been on so far, etc. But you can see that he's consistently showing you leadership, showing you integrity, showing you financial inclusion. It matters to him. And so he putting out that content consistently puts the message in your head that this brand is a brand that values financial inclusion. This is a person who has integrity. So when there's a scandal, you know that you can go to him and say, "Boss, what you are saying and what is happening is not matching." There's a person you can find. So think about that if you are in charge of a fintech brand or thinking of starting a fintech brand. Maybe you're just here because, like I said, this was the less boring topic. But that's something you can apply to your career. It's something you can apply to anything. That thought leadership, that visibility, it's like a check you can never stop cashing in. So I think I've spoken about all the things. So let me see. I believe I have. I have. But I wanted you to have screenshots that you could take away with. So I put a few slides that talked about things that you can do for visibility. The first one is to define your story. I think we've spoken about being clear. And then to design your communication assets. Your visual, verbal, in-person identity must be consistent. It must be intentional. Then deliver value consistently. If you deliver value on 2 days and the 7 other days it's not great, nobody's going to pay attention. But if you are consistent in delivering value, whether it's in the content you put out, the PR you do, your leadership is providing value, it gives you that blueprint you need for visibility in the long term. Can I move, or you still have screenshots to take? All right. So in 15 seconds, we're doing another activity. What do you want users, investors, or regulators to believe about your brand? Anybody. Again, if you are not in fintech, it can even be about you. So you can flip this around to be, what do you want your employers, your colleagues, or whoever it is to feel about your brand? Because if you can't set that intention, you can't do the actions that will bring you to that feeling or to that impression. So what do you want people to think about your brand? Anyone? No one has thoughts about their brand? Really? Oh, someone has some thoughts in front here.
Hi, please pass it.
You have thoughts about your brand? Oh, she does. I'm coming.
So by the way, my name is Kwabena Iboa.
Hi.
But for investors and regulators, I want them to believe, although I'm an underdog, but I have the best team to work with in the industry I'm working around.
So you have an existing brand,
Yes,
and you're saying that you are an underdog.
yes.
Why are you saying that?
So we are very new.
Oh, you're new in the industry.
We are very new
Okay.
to the industry. So although we are new and we are competing with like big brands, I want investors to build that trust with me that
Do you want
this
to
guy-
share what your brand is?
That's fine. So my brand is Afro Vivo.
Afro Vivo.
Yes. Previously, we used to work in the creative space, but now after my certification in oil and gas management, we are building an assets management and private equity firm. So it's based in Ghana and London. So this is what we are doing. We are competing with other big assets management firms. So when I'm speaking to investors, I want investors to know that this guy and his team are very new to the system, but they can do it.
They can do their job.
Yeah.
Then you have to do a lot of work to show them who you are for them to come to that conclusion. But thank you for sharing, and all the
Welcome.
best with Afro Vivo. Oh, you do have something to share. All right, that's great.
Hi, my name is
Hello.
Alison.
Your name is?
Alison.
Alison.
Yes, and I have a brand, so it's a floral brand. So with us, we are trying to dispel the notion people have about flowers and make it more like an everyday language sort of thing. Yes, and so for me, what I would want investors to think is to share in my emotional thoughts about like giving flowers. So like they should just be able to share in the value of like floral giving.
Okay.
Yes.
So from what I hear, you want people to understand the emotional connection with giving out flowers.
Yes, exactly.
Then you have to show us that emotional connection. So what does it feel like when someone thinks about you and gives you a bouquet of flowers? For you as a person, or for the other person who's receiving the flowers, what did it mean for them? So if I finish this presentation and you brought me flowers and you had someone capture it, you go like, this is what it means to celebrate someone who has done, show us the emotion.
Yes.
Then we will believe that that's what your brand does.
Yes. So with us, our first step into that is to make our post on Instagram more personalized or more humanized. Rather than us just doing product shoots, we do more of like human interactions with the flowers that we give out with them. So to be able to capture their first-hand emotions attached to the flowers we give. Yes.
So keep building on that. All the best.
Thank you.
So I think I'll close by saying that in a market that is built on innovation, trust remains the true currency. Every story you tell, every message, every promise you keep, either builds that trust or breaks that trust. So maybe you didn't come with your full team to this summit, but that is one thing that I hope you can take away with you. Everything we do, every touch point either builds that trust or breaks that trust at any point in time. So you must be intentional, you must be consistent, you must be clear. That trust will be built. I had another screenshot for you to summarize everything I had to say. You can take another screenshot if you are interested. But if not, I'll just pause for now. It just covers all the things that I spoke about so that you have something to fall back on if you don't remember everything from today. But you at least remember this when you look through your phone. Or if next year, Snapchat or Instagram will remind you that a year ago we were here, and then you can see how well you're doing with your brand. All right. So anyone who's here who has heard everything I've had to say and is thinking, all right, I hear you, Kenny, where do we start? I also left you next steps. Start by auditing your visibility. How do all your current stakeholders perceive your brand? So your users, your investors, your stakeholders, internally and externally. Even your employees, how do they perceive your brand? They see it as okay, we take a lot of money for a lot of people, but they don't pay us on time. Is that their impression? Because it impacts the way they represent your brand. So how do all your stakeholders perceive your brand? Define how you want to be known, what you want to be known, liked, and trusted for. And let that drive the narrative in how you translate your solutions, how you communicate to your clients, how you even handle challenges. Then the last thing, I'm sure you can tell that thought leadership is a big thing for me. Use that thought leadership to lead conversations. Don't wait for an opportunity to come for you to say, oh, here we are. Sometimes start the conversation. So is there anything, maybe your product serves market women. Is there something that worries market women today that you are aware of because of your interactions with them? Maybe that could be a conversation you could start. So brands like Maggie, they do that quite well in the local market. You see them giving out like hats that shield them from the sun, or they'll give them money bags for their money. First of all, it's great visibility for them, but it also makes the woman feel like these people care about me, not just about the products that I'm selling for them. So lead those conversations, lead the change, the turning points, those defining moments. Make sure that you are in there somewhere. And it does take some intentionality, I'll be the first to admit. But if you do it, it always helps. All right, so fintech, trust is the real product. Clarity, credibility, visibility, and connection. Thank you for your attention. My name is Maukeni Ribeiro. Thank you for spending time with me. If you want to find me, I'm everywhere except Snapchat. Just type Maukeni Ribeiro, you'll find me. I also have a YouTube channel that I will post this conversation on. So if you want a recap, you can eventually visit it and check it out once my team has released it to me. But thank you for your attention. I hope this was helpful. Enjoy the rest of the summit. And I think I'll be here for about an hour. So if you're happy to catch up, share what your brand is doing. You didn't want it to be everyone to hear because they'll steal your idea, but you want to tell me, I'm happy to hear. I hope you know you can trust me. But this has been fun. Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. Bye. You have a question for me. I was trying to run away from questions, but feel free.
Right. Thank you for your presentation. And so my question is on how do fintechs go into a market? Should they go in big or go in gradually? And I use fintech in Nigeria as a case study. The fintech has collapsed now. It was a fintech and also into crypto. It was called Patricia.
Patricia?
Yes. The founder says he named it after his grandmother. And that's how he established the company. But it collapsed because they had a security breach. There was a hack on their platform, and then they couldn't also pay their clients. But the reason why I'm asking this question is because as a PR person, the first time I watched a video about the company on YouTube, I was alarmed because they came in too big. Like, you're a fintech, you have a very big office. I could use Standard Chartered head office as an example. Like, that's how big their building was, too many offices. You know, like, they were like 2015, 2020, like 2017. Like, that's how you have meeting rooms where people can come and sleep, relax, all those kind of things. But eventually they collapse. So my question is, how do fintechs get into the market? Considering that in our continent, when you are very fast like that, the regulators are very they they seem to doubt you, who you are, and then they begin to, come after you. So how do they handle these things?
So that's a valid question. I have a contrary opinion. I don't think that it matters how big or small your launch is. So long as whatever it is you start, you can sustain. I think that's a challenge with a lot of us. And we do that in jobs. I work well under pressure. I'm a team player. The things we say, what are the other things we say in interviews? I'm a multitasker. Wow. Then when it comes to multitasking, you realize that you are not actually multitasking. And that is why when it's time for appraisals, your boss will say, guy, you're not trying. So whatever it is you start, you should be able to sustain and improve upon when it's time to scale. So it could be that maybe you are like me, you've built 10 years of experience in something, and so you're starting a new product. You're starting with the weight of 10 years experience. So you will not start like someone who's starting today. But whatever you do start, sustain it and improve upon it as you continue to grow. So for some fintech products, let's be honest, if you don't launch big, you won't get the attention of the people you're trying to serve. But for some of them, maybe just a market activation or a conversation here and there, or, I tell my friends, download it, and then we all download it. It could work. But whatever it is you say your promises, whatever it is you say, whatever solution you say you are delivering, be consistent with that delivery and improve as you continue to grow. I think that's what would work. Right. I see another hand up.
Hi, thank you very much for your presentation. I came in late, but I think I want to respond also to the gentleman there. One of the things we need to look at business people, we don't all have to be big. We can be small, artisanal, and deliver service. I find a lot of youths are always rushing to become the next big thing. You could be fine with a $100,000 business and you'd serve a community and you're doing well and you're sustainable. And you could also be part of a $200-300 million business. That's number one. The second thing, I've noticed there's a lot of conversation around this sort of failures. But we need to also celebrate failures because failures are important in the ecosystem. I'm 49. I run a very successful business, and a year ago...
Do you want to tell us about your business? Please mention the name of your brand,
One
please.
of the things we did, which is why I'm in this conference, is a year ago, we moved into tech, more into tech than before. And that was because we do a lot around training and financial services in Nigeria and in some other markets. And we realized that we're always getting interest around technology. So in 8 months, we've built a tech team that really is providing tech consulting services. And I have a GM, a CTO that drives that. But I actually wanted to immerse into understanding how people think, which is why I'm here. So hearing this, I just want to give you feedback that it doesn't matter when. So like she said, I've had experience in other sectors, and I brought that experience into tech, co-founded, and I've just employed a very good CTO who's running that piece of work. And I'm also here to learn and interface and code. But the key thing I want all Africans to take is that stop thinking about failures as negative. Failure is good if you learn from it. Failure is good if you use it as the next building block. And face your lane. Everybody has a lane. God has purpose for everybody. Don't judge yourself by what other people are doing. Look at what she said, the trust and value you bring in. Don't look for accolades. It might be a 20-year journey, and then suddenly you hit what you call the break. I think if you have that, then you're more authentic, and you focus on passion, and trust me, the customer, the revenue will definitely come. Thank you very much.
All right. You didn't tell us the name of your brand. I saw that you avoided it.
I like to be
Okay, no problem. Anyone else? Do we have any other questions? All right, thank you. This has been a great session. I enjoyed it, even though I was the one talking, but I hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you all. See you again next year.